The 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E is available from What's the Lateral Velocity Kenneth Accolade. This accolade is tied to the Drift Club upon completing the Drift Club Mexico chapter of Drift Club Mexico.
There's only one Welshman I know who can handle a car like that.
Well, it's not a patch on your sideways skills, that's for sure.
Modest as always. So, what are we doing?
I need a third-party evaluation of the modifications to my Sprinter.
So just drift it down the runway. Let's go.
A nice show for the local drift club, just like back in the UK.
That really is the best way around a corner.
Actually, there is increasing acceptance of the value of lateral velocity in shortening a corner, even in more conventional racing contexts.
It's been too long, Rob.
There we go, that's everything shaken out and warmed up. Feel free to keep going, though. The temp on those tyres is coming up nicely. Keep at it. Head back to the top if you want another run.
So, when's the grand opening of Drift Club Mexico?
Who told you about that?
You're too easy, Rob. Call me for the next one, you hear?
Look at my Nissan. For the thing.
Sure, Rob. Anything for not Drift Club Mexico. So, what have we got here?
The Nismo GTR. I do love a Nissan. One of the best drift platforms in the world. In my opinion, of course. Evidence for other opinions is welcome.
I've got a route. Right, let's see what this can do.
It's technical. Some very tight turns along the reservoir. Rear-wheel drive is perfect for this, though. Set of corners come in. This is all-wheel drive. And pricey. Usually you see them on the pro drifting circuit. Luckily, we had one knocking around the festival, so I had a look at it for you. The GTR is famous as a modular platform, and that's not just because of the wheelbase and the organic grip. The VR38 DET engine is an exceptional starting point for a drift car. Turbos can easily make 700 bhp. You need to build for that amount of power at both ends of the intake exhaust flow, of course. Final analysis, not a cheap drift platform, but definitely a good one.
That's a good car. What's the next recruitment vehicle?
I'll be honest, not the best car for drifting. The gear ratios definitely need some work. Like, in third it was really difficult. And then first and second are a little bit too short, so yeah, interesting.
That's a 325. Very nice. Not stock though, right?
Not at all. Get in. I'll tell you as we go. Rear-wheel drive, 6.2-litre V8 engine, developing 750 bhp. Custom camber for optimal entrance and exit angles. It's quite the piece of engineering. Said this was her first drift car. That makes sense. Abundant parts, reliable, and easy to work on too. Oh, if you're interested in how we calculate drift scores, it's about speed and angle in the drift. That means there's a maximum theoretical value for a stretch of road, of course. Excellent lateral velocity management. That's absolutely at the top end of my projections. So, this is an interesting technical challenge. Drifting uphill. The additional inertia is a very intriguing factor in how you achieve the optimal corner approach.
Yeah, I really need to work on my like hairpins. They're pretty abysmal. That was better, but I don't know how slow that was. Clipped it.
As before,
Anyway, another 3-star.
Leaderboards for all of these little drives, and I've worked up a few of Haley's accolades. Have a look at them. There's a bit of a reward for doing them all.
I'll take a look. Call me for the next one.
Drop by the Copper Canyon. I thought we'd been focusing on the classics a little unfairly. So, how about this? The 2020 151 Formula Drift Supra. This is based on a 2020 Toyota GR Supra, modified by Papadakis Racing, with approximately 700 extra bhp. But higher baseline speed necessitates maintaining the drift at a greater lateral velocity. The trick here, I find, is how faster cars need to balance forward velocity against the optimal angle. You are managing it nicely. This is a really tough corner. Be ready to functionally destabilize the rear. There we go. That's us into the upper projection range.
boards?
Yes. Bit more time.
I think 1,000,000 points could be quite easily doable.
Volcanoes.
Probably want to give that one another crack later.
Nothing at all. Thanks for the help. I'll call you.
Little bits of tips and tricks from not a noob drifter, but not a pro drifter. Generally, the lower the gear, the tighter the corner. The higher the gear, the shallower the corner. And if you need to extend the drift a little bit, e-brake. Of course, I need to learn how to use the clutch kick and all that.
Bit of a muscle car for you to look at. Drop by when you have a moment.
Muscle car, eh?
Rigged muscle car.
A little bit scared of
On my
that.
way. That's the Formula Drift Mustang.
Ah, never mind.
Very nice.
It is. I told you this was a muscle drift, and we've got 6.9 miles of the nicest drift road I think I've ever seen to try it out on. Let's get cracking.
Yeah, I think 3-starring
With a
these
supercharged
relatively
5-litre
beginner friendly.
V8, giving you a good center of rotation, very slightly biased front, 900 bhp to push out the back. It takes some, pardon my jocularity, lateral thinking to build a good drift car out of a muscle platform. And I think this is a very competent attempt.
Dug in the wheels there a little bit too hard.
Basically 1.5 tons of 2015 Mustang GT. Just wait until you see... No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's all downhill from here. I mean that in the topographical sense. Watch the corners though. Can't drift if we hit trees. on the projection. I think we can do better, though. That's over 1 million drift points. How much tyre smoke must be visible from the city? I mean, if anyone was watching, which they're not.
Yikes. That wasn't the worst one yet. But we have hit the 3-star threshold already. So we're looking good. This drift car likes to stay in 3rd and 4th. Anything lower than that and you're in a bit of a danger zone. Immediately goes down to 2nd.
Okay.
And there we go.
Time to come clean. What are you planning?
Just a little something we've been working. Well, you can wait a bit longer.
You're no good at keeping secrets, Rob. You know that.
On to the next one, eh? And it looks like this one's the last one.
I see you've brought some friends, Rob.
Yeah, well, just the local chapter of Drift Club Mexico. We thought we'd surprise you.
Well, there's more spectators than I expected for a secret club. Right, let's put on a bit of a show then.
Turn it. Or just go straight down the stairs.
This is Mr. Kenneth Block's Hooligan Gymkhana 10 Ford Focus RS RX. 2-litre, turbocharged, front-mounted engine and all-wheel drive. There's only the one seat, so I will be the voice in you ahead. Guanajuato has something of a drift culture, you know. The tunnels, the narrow streets, the cathedral square.
The roads are closed, right?
Oh yes, our newest member Pablo organized it.
Now, I'm not sure what 3 stars is for this,
Now follow the tunnels, watch the walls, they're snaggy.
but all-wheel drive is significantly more obnoxious to drift in. The car doesn't really flow as it wants to.
Left hand fork.
It really just wants to kind of straighten up.
Coming up on the end, and a peek at the future of drifting.
I've got a bit of a confession.
Ah,
You see,
the Mach-E.
We've got another car for you to have a look at.
Is that what I think it is?
The RTR Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400. The first fully electric drift and Gymkhana platform. Should we take it out for a bit of a spin?
Crazy.
This car was customized by drift legend and engineering wizard Mr. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and the fine people at RTR. Why? To answer that age-old question, what is the future of controlled oversteer?
What's up, Rob? Looks like you two are having a lot of fun with that car.
No way.
Oh, yes. Vaughn, it's quite a piece of work. Could I perhaps press you for your impressions working on it? For the members.
Getting behind the wheel of the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400 completely changed my perspective on what power and torque can be. Together, my team at RTR Vehicles and Ford Performance spent over 10,000 hours working collaboratively on this to bridge the gap between what people believe an electric car can do and what it can actually do. Turns out it is well beyond my wildest expectations. The Mustang Mach-E 1400 uses 7 motors, 3 on the front differential and 4 on the rear, giving us 1,400 horsepower so we can do anything from drifting to high-speed track racing. Every piece of aero and every duct you see is functional for aerodynamics and cooling. This car makes 2,300 pounds of downforce at 160 miles per hour. Ford has made it clear that they are bringing fun and function to the battery electric vehicle space, and this is just the start. I've watched even the most seasoned vets turn into giggly little kids behind the wheel and in the passenger seat of this wild machine. So, mission accomplished.
We're almost at the end, but as you've noticed, we've been running in all-wheel drive mode with all 7 motors. So, for the next bit, let's try something
Yeah, about that.
different.
I think I might have changed it already. Call it practice or something.
That was all-wheel drive. The motor layout allows you to change drivetrain essentially at the push of a button.
It's kind of dangerous. I'll have to check out the weight distribution and all that.
Toggle it over from all-wheel drive into rear-wheel drive, shutting down the front motors, and then off we go. The fastest drivetrain swap you will ever do. Nice right-left opportunity ahead. Careful as you manage the inertia transfer. Very hard left, then right, then sideways into the tunnel.
It's funny. I really expected this to be like at a really nice drift circuit or a course or whatnot, but Guanajuato is so narrow. I really can't let this thing go. I'll have to give it a test out after the drift story.
On behalf of Drift Club Mexico, as well as RTR and Ford Performance, let me thank you for this show of the noble art of intentional oversteer. So, we thought you might like to keep the Mach-E.
Sure, I'll have that.
That's amazing.
Just the good old test run. We were past and present, except it's a pretty new Mustang. It's funny that. Present and future more like, eh? Although, last time there was something that was past, present, and future. I think Hammond went off a cliff. Ooh, a bit of a yikes. The thing I've noticed from this car is the weight distribution seems a little bit weird, at least in game. I'm sure the drift pros know what they're doing. Vaughan Gittin Jr. and the team at RDR. And by the looks of the car, it seems a bit top heavy. But I am interested in seeing how a little bit of time and tuning can make this thing into a bit of a monster. Anyway, that was how to get the Ford Mach-E. Overall thoughts? Yeah, I'll revisit this in the future, probably live on Twitch. Link on screen now. But yeah, that was how to get this car, doing the drift story in Forza Horizon 5. Thanks for watching.